Hi guys, it's me, Susan. Welcome to Cruisin with Susan. It's good to see you again. I haven't seen you all for I don't even want to say how long, but it's been a long time. I've been real busy and doing all sorts of cool things that I'm going to share with you in a little while. But first of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about overwhelm. Being overwhelmed, feeling overwhelmed. I'm no stranger to that. And I think it's a normal human emotion that we all have. However, for many of us, and I would include myself, at least in the past, maybe sometimes even now, um, feeling overwhelmed, well, it actually does exactly what it's designed to do, which is kind of like a circuit breaker, uh, emotionally and physically. When someone is overwhelmed, they can't function. They just they can't, well, I don't know about you. I don't know how you behave when you're overwhelmed. I just kind of sit there. Either we get very anxious or just kind of paralyzed. I know, especially in terms of when people talk about trying to clean their house or organize clutter or put away get rid of stacks of paper and items and things. They will, when they have time to do it, they will sit there, look around, see the whole problem in all its disgusting glory, and feel overwhelmed, and sometimes literally sit there for hours, not being able to know where to start. Or they might start and then move on to something else, move on to something else, kind of wander around. This is my favorite activity, sort of wandering around from thing to thing. I'll pick up, this is one of my favorites. Every time I do it, I laugh, but I bet you've done it too. You've got a stack of papers that's been sitting on the stupid table for like years. You pick them up, you go through them all, you remember all the things that you intended to do with them in the first place, and you put them back down exactly where they were. Maybe you take one out, I don't know. Um, Although it's funny, today I did that, but I now have found the positive side of leaving papers sitting for 2 years in the same place is that when you go back to them, they're all so old that it's too late to do anything with them anyway, and you can just throw them in the trash. So that's one tip. That wasn't my main plan of how to tip you, but that's something you might try. Leave everything around for 2 or 3 years, and then it'll be a lot easier to get rid of it, I think. Was for me anyway today. But anyhow, so this is part of, I'll probably do some other talks on the idea of using slogans. And by slogans, I mean a little statement, very brief. In this case, it's 7 words that you say to yourself, and it sort of symbolizes and crystallizes the shift that you want to make right at that moment. You use it when you are, in this case, feeling overwhelmed, at other times maybe being very self-critical and judgmental, either of yourself or someone else. Um, Anytime there's an emotional state that is getting the better of you, a slogan can sometimes help you focus on how to make that shift or remind. It's like a reminder. Okay, and I'm going to give you an example for one of the ones that I use and very successfully when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay, my understanding of overwhelm is your expectations do not match what's possible. And by that I mean, of course, it's possible to do anything, but not all in one moment, not all in one day, possibly. So if you are feeling overwhelmed at any time about anything, if you can, the first thing to check out is, what am I expecting of myself? And chances are that it's too much, or it's too much for what you can do at that one moment. But you know, when you're overwhelmed, that's a very emotional experience, and chances are you are not going to be able to think of looking at your expectations. That's a real rational kind of concept. So I came up with a slogan And I actually practiced it along with um, focusing on my breathing a little bit, kind of slowing down, doing the thing that I've talked to you about before, taking a slow, deep breath and dropping your shoulders and sort of relaxing your muscles. Okay, but it's the slogan itself. Now, when I say this to myself in the middle of feeling overwhelmed, I can feel an immediate relaxation. It's like my whole body is in a state of alarm and frustration and anxiety. And I say this slogan, and it's like a knot that's tied up completely impenetrable. And I say the slogan, and it's sort of like, whew, just unties itself. Okay, so what is this magic slogan, you may be asking? Okay, very simple. Take a breath. One by one, things will get done. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. One by one, things will get done. And I'm telling you, if you allow it to, that will immediately cut through your feeling of overwhelm. And the reason why is because, Jolie's here, because it's like granting yourself permission to do one thing at a time. It's not even telling you do one thing at a time. It's like saying it's going to be okay. Things will get done one by one. It's a reassurance that you don't have to run around like a crazy person and get it all done immediately. And to me, it's like it works like magic. It's a reminder. It's going to be okay, and things will get done, and you don't have to do them all right now. Okay, so that's your tip. I would suggest that you practice it. Use it whenever you're feeling overwhelmed. Then when you relax a little bit, when you say that to yourself and you relax, that might be the time to start reordering your expectations or priorities, thinking, okay, is there one thing I can do right now that might help me to feel better? It might even be the smallest thing on your list. It might not even be on your list. Anyway, that's something to try, and I hope you'll find it as helpful and successful as I do. Okay, anybody who wants to can take off now. I'm just, for my friends, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's been going on because it's pretty amazing, really. I went to this dude ranch and had a wonderful time. Had no physical problems like from my hip at all. Took horseback rides that lasted several hours at a time, and was absolutely fine. So that made me really happy. But I also reconnected with my deep love of horses, which I knew I had, but I haven't set up my life to be around them very much. And, then when I broke my leg, or my hip, actually, technically, I was afraid I would never be able to ride again. And those of you who might remember, my orthopedic surgeon was my hero in that regard when he said, you can take calculated risks. I wouldn't go jumping over 6-foot fences, but you can wrap yourself in bubble wrap and hide under your bed if you want to be sure you're safe. Just use some caution. So I did, and these were just trail rides. We weren't doing anything more than a trot. But anyway, in the process, some of the other women there were also very involved with horses, and in particular, there was one, and our leader also was in the same mindset, but there was one very interesting woman who works with horses as she does psychotherapy. It's called equine facilitated psychotherapy. She has human clients, but she sees them at a horse barn, a ranch, that has a small herd of actually rescue horses and works with her client in conjunction with their interaction with a horse or horses. And while I won't go into all the details of that with you now, as I'm starting to read more about this field, it's incredibly exciting, and it's given me a pathway to my future, which I had been wanting, as you know, to get out of my office. So I already have training plans coming up next year, 2 different trainings that will help me, including a week-long return to the ranch, Blacktail Ranch in Montana, which is absolutely awesome. If you look it up on the internet, you won't even get a taste for how incredible it is until you go there. But there are lots of opportunities to go there, yoga retreats, things like that. Anyhow, it's like I was drawn, just like I was drawn to go to this retreat. I was drawn to learn more about this field of understanding and communicating, not only communicating with horses, understanding a deeper nonverbal connection, but the way that horses are attuned to humans, the distress or the inner world of the inner emotional world of humans. And I can't wait to find out more about it and to find ways to integrate it into my life. So that's the latest. I'm not going to go on and on. Hopefully I'll be talking to some of you individually. Give me a call, or I'll give you a call. And I certainly will be talking more about it in the future on some future posts. But it's just, I just can't explain how I told someone today, it's almost like I'm Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and this tornado came and picked me up and put me down, and like, I'm not in Kansas anymore, and I can see the yellow brick road. Maybe it was always there, but I couldn't see it. And now I see it, and I know exactly where I want to go. I don't know how it's going to shake out, what it's going to look like, but it combines my 2 greatest loves, which is doing therapy and being around horses. So what more could you want? I'm just so happy. I have trouble really believing it, and happy to share it with you. Okay, so until the next time, which I hope won't be as long as this time was in coming, I want you to remember to live well, laugh often, love much, and I'll see you soon on Cruisin' with Susan. Bye now.